they're heading. Well, we welcome in Washington Nationals starting pitcher MacKenzie Gore. MacKenzie, welcome in. Steve Phillips, Cliff Floyd, Alex Avila. How you doing? Good to have you here.
I'm good. Thanks for having me.
You bet. Well, listen, your manager, Davie Martinez, just got an extension. What's it like playing for him, and do you love his tirades when he gets ejected from games? He goes nuts on umpires.
Yeah, he gets his money's worth when he makes it happen. But, yeah, he's been great. You know, we've played hard all year, and I think, a lot of that is because of him. And we're having fun, too. We keep it loose, and we're taking it a day at a time, and I think we've done a really good job of that for the most part.
MacKenzie, you talk about, keeping it loose. You guys have been playing, a lot better of late. Just talk about the clubhouse and how much better it's gotten as far as, you guys, having more success and feeling good about yourselves.
Yeah, I mean, I think we've had a great group of guys all year. But now we're kind of starting to understand that we can win, and we're playing together. And it's been a lot of fun just to see everybody get better. CJ's been awesome. Cabert, everybody I feel like has gotten better as the season has gone, and that's been fun to watch and be a part of.
MacKenzie, I wanted to ask you about your finger. I know you had to leave your last start because of the cut and the blister on your finger. I just wanted to know how it's doing. I know you're starting tomorrow, but how's it feeling?
Yeah, blister's good. And it's something I've always had to deal with.
Yeah.
It's just sometimes it gets to a certain point we got to stop. But yeah, it feels great, and I'll be ready to go tomorrow.
So, MacKenzie, back when growing up, I loved Juan Marichал's windup, the big leg kick and all of that, and watching different pitchers and the different windups, Fernando Valenzuela and guys like that. How about for you? You've got a bit of a unique windup and delivery yourself. Who are the pitchers that you watched growing up that you admired their deliveries?
I mean, I feel like the name's Kershaw. Just being left-handed, that's the guy that, very unique deliveries, and that's the guy, the person that was always talked about just because of the leg kick and the high hands and stuff like that.
Hey, I want to talk to you about, the adjustments and the things you have to go through consistently at the big league level. Like, from start to start, talk me through the adjustments as far as not changing anything, but tweaking things to sort of put yourself in a better situation for that next start.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing this year is, getting better counts. I've also, gotten hurt when I'm leaving balls over the middle of the plate. So understanding why I'm, giving up runs and how we're going to get better has been the biggest thing. And there's been some good ones in there, and but just kind of trying to leave a few less balls over the middle of the plate and getting better counts.
Well, playing off that, I want to ask you about your relationship that you're building with Cabert and Riley Adams back there, because I mean, for me, that's always like the most important thing is that relationship between the guy on the mound and yourself behind the plate. I got to play with those guys a little bit my last year when they came over and got called up. But just talk to me about that relationship, how that's forming.
Yeah, it's been great that they both work hard, and I didn't pitch last year, so this is the first time thrown to them, and it takes some time for me to figure out myself just because of where I'm at in my career, and then both of the catchers figuring out what they feel like the best thing is to throw at that time, and I think they've done a great job, and really all the credit goes to them for the success that I have had because they're the ones calling the game, and they've done a great job.
MacKenzie, as you've developed from starting in San Diego, now going to Washington, what's the one area that you've made the greatest and most improvement?
I think the consistency in the off-speed has made a huge jump from, last year. I was trying to figure it out, how to want to throw a slider, how I wanted to throw a curveball last year and get a consistent shape. And I've done that. And, they're not perfect, but they have been consistent, which has made it where they've been a little easier to use. So.
Hey, MacKenzie, I was with your pitching coach, Jim Hickey, in Tampa in 08. I thought he did a terrific job with the youngsters down there back then. Just talk about, you guys and the relationship he has with, all of you pitchers and getting you better every time you step on that rubber.
Yeah, and I think he's done a good job of keeping it simple for us young guys. And look, there's a lot of things you can dive into on the mound and when it comes to mechanics or pitch shapes, but there are a few simple things that the good ones do, and when you do that, you have success. So he reminds us of that every day, and he's done a great job.
MacKenzie, I was wondering too, this stretch run you guys have been on. Like, I know you said you guys are kind of starting to come together as a team, but What do you think are some of the key contributions and differences on this stretch run that you guys have been on over the last month?
I mean, we've scored a lot of runs. We've had good starts from there. I think, us as a staff could probably be a little better moving forward, which would put us in a lot better position to win because the bullpen's been great. And then, I mean, the hitters, they've been awesome. When we get a guy in scoring position, for the most part, they're scoring. And then they just don't give up, give away at bats. That 6-run inning after it was 6-1 at home the other day was awesome.
Yeah.
And they just done a great job of that.
The pitch timer has obviously been a point of focus all season long, and the impact it's had on pitchers. How has it affected you?
I think I've been fine. It's probably good for me. I'm a little better when I do work quick. There's been a few times where I was probably working a little too quick. I had more time than I thought. But it hasn't been hard for me to kind of adjust to. So.
Well, listen, we appreciate you giving us some time. It's great to catch up. Good to know you as well and start to get a feel for you as a pitcher and as a person. So thanks for giving us some time today, and all the best of luck, good health, and hopefully that blister is good to go tomorrow.
Absolutely.
Yep. Appreciate
Thanks,
it.
All right, you got it. All right, come